There's a secret that nobody is talking about. The secret keeps the big YouTubers living like fat cats and the small creators like you and me struggling for table scraps. This is a video not to miss.
Brian G. Johnson!
Hey, it's Brian G, and to grow on YouTube, stake your claim and amplify your message. Do that by subscribing. Click on the bell notification and you'll be on your way. This is Joanne Setti. She gained, get this, she gained over 1 million subscribers in the first 3 months here on YouTube. Currently, she's got over 2.4 million subscribers, and she's driven over 140 million video views in a year. Absolutely insane. Now, according to Social Blade, her channel generates anywhere between $38,000 and over $607,000 yearly. Oh, and yeah, she just graduated from high school. Now, yeah, Joanne is young, but make no mistake, she gets the secret, just like Emma Chamberlain, and because of that, they're absolutely crushing it. Now, speaking of crushing it, Gary V, Graham Stephan, and Charisma on Command, they also get the secret and they use it to their advantage. Just like Jack Frags, just like Level Cap Gaming, as well as Ninja. And without the secret, it's impossible to succeed. You can't move forward and grow a channel to a sizable level. It does not work. And furthermore, that's why you're struggling on YouTube. That's why you can't get any views here on YouTube. That's why no matter what you do, you can't really get the results that you're after. Now, I want to mention, it's not your fault. If you don't know what it is that has to be in your videos, it's impossible to add it in. Imagine trying to put together a puzzle that's missing pieces. You cannot succeed. No matter what you do, you cannot complete that puzzle because it doesn't have all the pieces. Success on YouTube is exactly the same. In order to get millions of views, you've got to publish videos that incorporate all of the success elements or pieces of the YouTube puzzle. And if you don't, you'll fail. So your first job is just to identify what the heck they are. If you don't know what they are, again, can't succeed. If you saw a video on YouTube and you clicked and the audio was horrible, really bad, would you keep watching the video? And the answer is no, of course not. Without a shadow of a doubt, you would click off right away. And we all know that the quality of a video is really important. The audio, the lighting, the camera picture quality, all of these things really matter. And there are so many videos that cover these things. How to get more views, how to get more subscribers, how to grow on YouTube, and they all cover the same thing. It drives you batty, right? It drives me crazy because nobody is talking about this thing. And do me a favor, if I don't live up to your expectation, if I don't share a lot of powerful tips, tactics, and strategies that you can apply that you haven't heard before, let me know, let me have it down in the comments below. Now please, be open-minded. Hear what I have to say because your channel depends on it. The secret success element that's missing from so many channels is charisma. And when I say charisma, so many people get it wrong. What charisma is and what so many people think about charisma being are two totally separate things. On YouTube, this is charisma. This is being charismatic. Joanne and Emma Chamberlain are both quirky, they're awkward, they're self-deprecating, and yet they're terribly charismatic. They have got a devoted following because of how charismatic they are. Now, typically, when we think of charisma, we think that means being strong, confident, having substance, being better looking than most, and having positive body language. And all of these elements, they're absolutely correct. However, there's a lot more to charisma, and that's what I want to cover in this video. Now, defined, charisma is inspiring devotion in others. And this is the definition of devotion: love, loyalty, or enthusiasm for a person, activity, or a cause. Did you get it? That definition contains powerful strategies and secrets that we can use to properly grow our channel. Love, loyalty, or enthusiasm, and this is the part I want you to think about. For a person, enthusiasm for a person, activity, or a cause. You see, charismatic YouTubers, successful YouTubers create videos for a specific type of person, activity, or a cause. And that results in devotion. That's the hook. That's the secret that gives them a huge advantage. They're creating content specifically for the person, activity, or cause. And because those successful YouTubers are really specific, they create a more powerful emotional connection with the viewers that watch, and it keeps those viewers coming back. Connecting emotionally is powerful, it's important, and explains one of the reasons why Joanne Setti and Emma Chamberlain have such devoted audiences. They are relatable. We're gonna talk about the power of being relatable in just a bit. And by the way, being relatable is your key, is the thing you can leverage no matter where you're at. Being relatable makes it easier for people to want to watch their content. They share the same struggles that their audience is going through. Now, it could be said that Joanne covers a variety of topics and she vlogs. She's creating videos on different things and so on, but she's not. She's really crafting videos that are specific to her audience, and she doesn't stray from that. Her audience is just like her. It's young girls and guys struggling to make sense of growing up, of being a teenager. Here's an example, the final week of high school. Do you remember hating school? Do you remember being so sick of attending class, especially in the final days or weeks? That's something that's highly relatable, especially for guys and gals that are living it. Her audience. How about the tension and the awkwardness of going to prom? Remember what a big deal prom was? Well, Joanne shares her story and the audience responds. 3.3 million views in just a few months. And in this video, I DIY'd Emma Chamberlain's new clothing line. Well, this one's really interesting because it leverages one of the triggers that so many big YouTubers use to become charismatic. One of the things I want to frame right here is being charismatic is the end result. As you grow a channel, you become more charismatic. As you connect with people on a deeper level, you become more charismatic. But obviously, how the heck do you do that? How do you grow and how do you become more charismatic? You leverage what I call influential triggers. Now, these triggers are based on science. They work by creating a deeper emotional connection with the viewer, and they're scientifically proven to impact how people think, how they feel, and really what they do day to day. For example, both Joanne and Emma leverage the relatable influential trigger, and doing so allows them to create a stronger connection with their viewing audience. Being relatable has its perks. Graham Stephan discovered that in his first video. Now, you can see that this video here has been unlisted. However, in this video, Graham talks about the power of being relatable. He shares how that video had zero production value, how it was filmed on an iPhone, had zero cuts, had little to no editing, and was simply him talking for 17 minutes. And yet that video gained over 400,000 views in just the first 4 months of its release. Now stick with me, this next part is important. Now here's the catch, Graham is a millionaire and he mentions it. By the way, this is Graham leveraging a second influential trigger. Now, you might not have $1 million, you might not be a millionaire, and you might think, well, I can't do that. I can't do this I'm not a millionaire. And sadly, this is where so many miss the boat. This is why so many struggle. You can still leverage this trigger. By the way, this is called the authority bias trigger. And what it means is it means that we think information coming from an authoritative source holds more value. So here are two different ways that you can leverage the authority bias trigger. But I have to warn you, this won't work if you're not really intentional with who your audience is. This is why most fail. Another reason, there are so many reasons. You've got to really create content for one specific audience. Example, so when Tai Lopez films videos from his garage with the fancy cars and shows off his mansion, the viewer is more likely to believe he's an expert, that he's wealthy, because he's demonstrating his authority and his wealth, but this only works for those people that he's targeting. So here's method number one that you can leverage. This video, The End of YouTube, Article 13 Explained, it went on and drove 85,000 views in just 3 months. Now, how did I do that? Well, one of the things I did was I leveraged the authority bias influential method or trigger. You see, as I was preparing to create the video, I thought it would carry a lot more weight with my audience if it was from an authority figure. In this case, an attorney. So I reached out to Ian Corzine and we created a collaboration, and the video did really well. I don't think I could have done as well if Ian wasn't in the video. I leveraged authority. So as you're creating your videos, ask yourself, do you know anybody that has more authority than you do in this particular topic? You never know who might say yes. And here's that second method that leverages the authority bias influential trigger. And this one is simple and it's incredibly effective. For example, Charisma on Command has driven over 221 million views, and Evan Carmichael, another channel, has driven over 281 views leveraging this trigger. It's really simple. You piggyback on the authority of those who have it. For example, if you've got an entrepreneurial type channel, you make a video based on Elon Musk. He's got authority. The target audience is already thinking about Elon Musk. This method works really great if you're creating any kind of how-to type content. Now, obviously, do yourself a favor and leverage any authority that you have, no matter what. For example, let's say I had a cooking channel. I could say, you know what, I'm a chef, and there's a little bit of authority there. Or I could say, hey, I'm a professional chef and I have a degree. But to really take it up a level, I could say this. I'm a professional chef and I have a degree from France. My class was really small. In the culinary world, having a degree from France, that means something. That carries more authority. And being a speaker carries a little bit more weight. Whatever you can use, any accolades that you have, use that to your advantage. And don't think this is just marketing. This is Dr. Disrespect, a famous live streamer, and he often mentions he's a back-to-back two-time world champion video game record holder. That carries authority, that's an influential trigger, and he uses it really well. So can you. Now let's talk a little bit more about being relatable, because these YouTubers, Graham Stephan, Gary Vee, and Russell Brand all leverage being relatable. Russell is a great example. His videos are minimal. There are no fancy edits, no crazy YouTube set, no jump cuts, no B-roll, no expensive equipment. It's you and him hanging out. He's chatting on his couch. That is relatable. Now, one of the most important things about being relatable is that the viewers see the YouTuber as pretty much effortless. There's not a lot of effort going into creating the videos, and it just kind of seems real and authentic. That is where you want to be. Now, the truth is, it takes a lot of work and effort to make that happen, but that's the goal. Now, another influential trigger is social proof and association. Tai Lopez gets this. If you look at his channel, you'll see that he leads with the popular playlist. In other words, his most popular videos are featured at the top of his page, and that makes it easy for viewers to see he's driving millions of views. And social proof and association come in a lot of different forms. And here you can see that Tai has actually spoken at a TEDx event. And that's a big deal. He mentions that to let you, the viewer, know that he's a big deal. And it's why subscriber numbers matter on YouTube. You know, we like to think we're pretty smart, we're human beings, we can make great decisions, we can. But we're faced with so much information that we filter. One of the ways we filter is we look to others to see what the appropriate response should be. If you've got a lot of comments, if you've got a lot of subscribers, you've got social proof, and that's positive. Now, by the way, any proof is really great. Anytime you can use proof, you're demonstrating proficiency. Here, I've added images of my channel growth over the last, 6 months, and it helps establish that I understand and I know what I'm talking about when it comes to YouTube. Now let's talk a little bit more about association. Here is a picture from me at VidCon, and Matt, an employee at YouTube, came up, he introduced himself, said a lot of nice things, and instantly I wanted to get a picture to leverage association. And this is why you see so many influencers taking pictures with big names. Association is easy, and all you need is a picture. Start taking them. Oh, this is me with Jake Paul. Don't call him Logan. I did that. And yet I got the picture. And the day I was writing this script, Sunny Lenarduzzi was publishing a video that really talks about a meeting that she had with Oprah Winfrey. Association is powerful, and there's no reason why you can't leverage it. And I want to mention, this isn't about manipulation. It's about honoring those that have helped you along the way. Sunny is a huge fan of Oprah Winfrey, so she's honoring Oprah, and at the same time, it helps her move forward. It's a win-win for everybody. Now, another powerful, influential trigger is to leverage the power of secrets. The word secret is powerful. I know something you don't, and you're gonna wanna know, you're gonna wanna listen, you're gonna wanna click. And it's not, again, it's not just sales and marketing. Here's Jack Frags. Secret, Illuminati, smoke, secret dog tag. This is Wacky Jackie. The mystery, the secret. There's no reason why we can't be compelling and still deliver value and grow just that much faster. You can do that too. Now, this part, again, is really important. It's critical. You've got to deliver on the secrets. You've got to really share some different ideas that most viewers haven't thought of. My goal is to do that here. I hope you are finding value in these secrets. Another influential trigger is new and better. We love things that are new and improved. We love the new iPhone. If you're a gamer, you've seen all the hype that's building up around Modern Warfare. That's coming out in the coming weeks or months. New stuff is what people are interested in. Why not make videos about things that are new? The entire tech sector on YouTube is powered by new tech, new things coming out. Let's go off script. Tonality. Tonality is talking really, really fast and getting people excited and almost being crazy, and then slowing down and using a tone of reasonable man. I learned that from Jordan Belfort. The idea is that you get people really excited and they want to buy into you, but they're like, that guy seems kind of crazy, I'm not sure. So you slow down and you act, and you've got the tonality, you deliver your message in a manner that sounds more reasonable. And what's really powerful about tonality is that it bypasses the subconscious mind. It allows you to talk to the emotional side of human beings. That's why the word triggered is a thing on YouTube. When you can connect emotionally, you're going to get more people to take action. Now, by the way, you might not like what this guy has done, but can you learn from him? Well, I can. Can you? This is a big one. Sex appeal is without question an influential trigger that a lot of women and men use. Now, what you have to know is that there are all kinds of YouTubers that are great looking, but if that's all they are, it really doesn't work. You want to incorporate different elements. That's the whole idea of these influential triggers, is they stack. You can add these triggers on top of one another, and doing so makes your videos, your delivery, the content you share more compelling. It triggers more emotion, and you become more charismatic. How the World Sees You. This is a book by New York Times best-selling author Sally Hogshead. Do you think they mention New York Times best-selling author because it's leveraging the authority bias trigger? You bet they do. Now, in this book, Sally talks about another influential trigger, and she mentions different is better than trying to be better. And the idea is simple. Let me put this down. It's really hard to be number one. It's really hard to be the best. But if someone is really interested in a particular topic, type of a theme, etc., they're gonna take in content from a whole bunch of people. They're gonna watch videos from multiple creators. So instead of trying to be number one or try to be the best, you just want to be an important resource. The way you can do that is by creating something that is new and different. When we talk about Janelle, she really is different. In fact, her first video mentions she travels in a van with her pet snake. Smart. Different is better than better. You know, a lot of people talk about influence and persuasion is manipulative, and I guess it could be, but you can also use it for good. A lot of people feel like, I'm not charismatic, I'm never gonna get there. And if you believe that, if you say that, I believe that you will be right and you will struggle to get there. But I also know, and I also see a lot of people really improving their delivery and their ability to connect with individual folks, people just like you and me. That was another influential trigger, folks like you and me. The thing you want to do is study and learn about influence and persuasion. You want to focus on your delivery. You want to strive to connect with viewers, and when you do that, you're gonna blow up. Now, to drive more views, to grow your channel, check out one of these other videos on the screen now. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. Click on the yellow B to the G icon to do just that, and when you do, well, you're gonna feed a poodle. I've got 2 when they're hungry. I'll see you next time. You dig?